Welcome to Awakening with Amy Robeson, the live experience. I'm so excited you are here. If you're joining us live or catching the replay, please say hello. Please let me know where you're tuning in from, how you're doing. How is your energy this week? How have you been feeling? I know that I have been talking to some of my students, and the energy last week for a lot of people was super intense. Like they weren't sleeping really well. And so I want to check in. Are you sleeping better this week? Are you feeling better this week? Um, all of the energies that are happening in the cosmos affect us in some way, shape, or form. And the planetary positions are good feedback on how we are to take care of our body, either to slow down or to speed up or to address or to look at things. And so if you're needing more sleep, sleep. If you're feeling energized and motivated, take advantage of that wave of energy that can catapult you into something different. And then slowing down can also catapult you into something amazing and different if you give yourself permission to slow down and rest. And so our bodies are having rhythms, and those rhythms are really important to pay attention to and to look at, because they're telling you something, they're informing you about something. And sometimes we override those systems and we end up hurting ourselves. So don't hurt yourself. Be careful, listen, tune in, slow down, like breathe with the rhythm of your being and see where that rhythm is wanting to take you. And it is so powerful. So today, what I want to do is I want to do an audience choice. We haven't done this in a while. And so if you're here live, let me know. I want to do a channel message. I want to do some teaching, depending on what you guys want me to do on a topic or theme around for this live experience. Type it in the comments in the chat box and let me know. Is there something that you've been struggling with and that you'd like some support with, some coaching on? Is there something that you have been thinking about and you'd like some assistance with? Let me know in the comments. We can do a topic around money or abundance or health or slowing down or whatever it is that is coming to mind. And let me know. Someone said distraction. Someone also said it's been really intense. Kim also said still struggling with sleep. Yes, that can be happening. Also, Kim, there's like a lot of stuff that's going on. Like we're about to leave for the expo too, so that can also be it as well. So let me know in the comments. So is there a topic or a theme that you'd like me to do this particular live experience on? Let me know. And if you're just hopping on, say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from and how you are doing. If I don't hear, I'm going to go with I'm going to just read some of these comments, and then I'm going to go with whatever the guardians want me to take off with. And if you're new to me, I channel from the Akashic Records. I'm an Akashic Record master teacher. I channel a lot. I love channeling messages. So we'll definitely have a channeled message in this experience, and then we'll see where this wants to go. Someone named unnamed guy said distractions. Mary said, how do you cut our hurt from some people who keep hurting us, like cut the pain and have a good relationship? I like that topic. I've been dealing with a lot of lower back pain, but abundance with everything else. Okay. Especially karmic relationships. Yes. Okay. Okay. I think we can do a blend of a couple of these. Okay. So let's talk about distractions first. Distractions sometimes distractions can be good, they can be bad, and they can be indifferent. And so they can be on opposite ends of the spectrum depending on what that distraction is. Sometimes when we're working on a project or we're deep in something and we feel stuck, a distraction can be a good thing. Like you go out with some friends, or you go play golf, or you go for a walk. Like sometimes a distraction can be good because it gets you out of your head, gets you out of that energy, and allows you to just kind of be outside of that particular frequency so that you can be inspired. So there's that distraction. And then the opposite end of that is you're distracted and you're not able to do the things that you're wanting to do, and so you distract yourself with things like the phone or the social media, or saying yes to a bunch of things that you shouldn't be saying yes to, because it keeps you distraction and it keeps you in avoidance mode of doing the thing that you're meant to be doing. And so the question that you're always going to want to ask yourself is this distraction beneficial for where I'm wanting to go? Or is this distraction detrimental? And if it's detrimental, then you're going to want to stop and ask yourself, why am I allowing this distraction in? Why am I choosing this distraction over, and then fill in the blank? Because that's going to give you a better understanding of why you might be behaving in a particular way, and then how to actually solve the problem. Because sometimes you might be distracted because, let's say you're wanting, I'm just going to use this as an example. Let's say you're wanting to start a business and you're afraid of being seen. You know, you want to do lives. You know, you want to work on social media copy. You know, you want to start sharing things. But every time you go to do a live or sit down to make content, you come up with a reason why you can't do it. And so you ask yourself, is this a distraction beneficial? And the answer is no. Okay, well, why am I doing this? Well, I'm afraid of being seen. That's right there the problem. I'm afraid of being seen. So then you have the opportunity to unpack that, work through that in many different ways. And so one of the ways that you can unpack it is, okay, well, what is 1% closer to being seen or closer to the goal that I want, that will allow me to work through the jitterbugs? And that might be, I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes and I'm going to sit down and write for 5 minutes. And no matter how silly or stupid I think it is, at least I'm writing, or at least I'm creating, or at least I'm doing this. And then you can set a deadline on when you're actually going to do a live or do whatever it is that you want. But the thing is you got to give yourself permission to do at least something by 1%, because every day, if we just give ourselves permission to be 1% better, you are going to have a massive amount of change in less than a month, in less than 3 months, in less than a year. Like a massive amount of change if you just give yourself permission to be 1% better than the day before, and working on whatever it is that you're working on. So that right there can be extremely helpful in terms of distractions. So then the other topic that we're looking at, that Mari suggests, is like, how do you cut out um, the hurt from people that keep hurting you? Like cutting out the pain and still have a good relationship. Mary, are you still wanting a good relationship with that? Let me know. Also, let me know if that the distraction piece resonates with you, and if that's something that you're willing to do, is like give yourself permission to evaluate, to look at it. Is it a good distraction or a bad distraction? Because sometimes distractions are really good, especially like for me, like if I'm working on something and I'm just like, I'm consumed and I feel like full, like my brain's full, my energy's full. Going and taking a walk for me is some of the best things ever, because I need different feedback than what my brain is giving me, what my computer is giving me, or whatever it is that I'm working on. And so like just being outside or calling a friend or doing something can be really helpful. She said, I agree. Love that 1%. Gonna definitely use that. Thanks, Amy. You're welcome. Okay, so let's talk about cutting out people. And I was just having a conversation about this morning with someone. And here's the thing. We are meant to be in relationship with people throughout our lifetime, okay? That doesn't mean you are meant to be in relationship with the same people throughout your lifetime. You don't owe anybody anything. Like plain simple, period. And I know that we can get into the nuances and the complications of things, but at the end of the day, you are here to be a sovereign being. You are here to have autonomy. You are here to grow and to evolve. And sometimes that means saying goodbye to relationships that are no longer serving you, saying goodbye to people that are hurting you and in a way that doesn't allow you to grow. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So let me say that again. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So let's say you hang out with a bunch of broke people and you're wanting to manifest money. Or let's say you hang out with a bunch of people that are always in victim mentality. It is going to be hard for you to have a positive outlook on life if you are constantly hanging out with people that are constantly negative. And so you got to look at, is this sphere of influence, because it is a sphere of influence, is this sphere of influence worth hurting myself over? And the question might be, yeah, temporarily. It might be yes, or it might be absolutely not. And then it gets complicated because your feelings are wrapped up within it, right? Because sometimes you've been in a relationship with someone maybe all your life because they're a family member, or you've been friends with them for a really long time and you don't want to hurt your feelings. I call this the pause. Sometimes we just need to pause. We need to pause the relationship. We need to take a step back. And this gives us permission to reevaluate the relationship and to also put up healthy boundaries. I have people that I love dearly, but sometimes they're just not in a headspace that works for my headspace. They're not in a place where it makes sense for me to be in full relationship with them. And so I put them on pause. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I put up a boundary where it's like, and I'll check in. And this is for anybody that I'm about to call, is I will check in with myself and see if it serves my highest good to give that person a call or to reach out to that person. And it might not be that they're not doing anything wrong. It's just not an energetic match for where I'm at in that particular moment in time, or I don't have the capacity to listen or to be in conversation in the way that they want me to be in conversation, in the way that I want to be in conversation. And so you have to understand what your energetic capacity is and what that looks like. And does it feel good for you to be in relationship or in conversation in that particular moment in time? Someone said they fall away if their frequency doesn't resonate. Absolutely. And then someone also said family of manipulators think they can still juxtapose healing from the dawn of Arises. I don't know how to say that. We always have, Stacey also said, making all decisions based on your highest good. Autocorrect it. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks. So here's the thing. Family is so complicated, especially for certain family dynamics and certain family trauma bonds and certain family learn patterns and behaviors of communicating. And we all take on certain roles in our family. And some people are the fixer, some people are the mediator, some people are we're going to get things done. Some people are the baby, the victim. Some people are the victor, like meaning they're going to be victorious and everybody leans on them to solve the problem. Whatever archetype, whatever role you play in your family or your chosen family, it's really important to take a step back and understand just because you took on that role doesn't mean that you are responsible to hold that role. And for me, I know that sometimes I had a particular role that I played in my family, and it would cause me all certain types of stress and all certain types of problems. And the moment I realized that I wasn't willing to play in that role anymore, all sorts of other things fixed themselves because I wasn't playing that role and I chose to take a step out of the role itself. And you sometimes have to make the decision to step out so other people can step forward and you're not the energetic blockage that's preventing things from getting fixed, healed, or mended in such a different way. Okay, with that also being said, so like, how do we cut out the pain and still have a good relationship? Well, you have to understand and identify what the actual problem is, so that you can start looking at how do I fix this? And sometimes it's not your responsibility to fix it. Sometimes it's your responsibility to express what is happening for you and how you want someone to fix it. Because sometimes it's the matter of having a conversation. It's like, hey, when you do that, that really hurts my feelings. And I would kindly ask you to stop doing that. Or, hey, anytime I speak about something, you get super defensive and I don't feel seen and heard. And then you take your frustration and anger out on me. And I don't think that's fair. How do we fix this problem? So it's like, one, identifying what the problem is, then articulating what you would like to happen. And sometimes it's just the matter of unpacking it with the person to figure out what that looks like. And then also it's identifying what the boundary is. If a boundary is needed, which usually it is, like if a boundary is needed in order to still have that person in your life. And having a boundary is not a bad thing. And also remember, you are responsible for holding that boundary. The other person is not responsible. If you put a boundary in place, you are responsible for holding that boundary. So, for example, I have a boundary around politics with someone that I love. This person cannot have a conversation about politics sometimes without getting super angry, defensive, mad, whatever, da 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 da. And this person likes to yell. So I have a boundary. If the second you start talking about politics, I am not going to have that conversation with you. I will hang up. And so that is my boundary. And then over the years, that boundary has changed to where we can have a conversation. But the moment you start getting defensive, yelling, screaming, not wanting to listen, here's the new boundary. And so you can change the boundary as well, depending on what your relationship is with that person and what that looks like. But the key is to be willing to be honest about how it hurts you, the pain it's causing you. And if you still want that person in your life, is to have an intelligent conversation. And sometimes you have to unpack all of that stuff before you have the conversation. So you can articulate what it is that you're experiencing, how you're experiencing, what you want to change. And sometimes you might not know what you want to change, but like you want to have at least the conversation of, this is hurting my feelings. This is hurting me in XYZ way. And until you do that, that person doesn't have the opportunity to fix their behavior, because they don't know what's going on the inside unless you express it. Now, if you've expressed it and they continue to ignore that, that's a whole different issue. And that is where the boundaries come in place. That is where you have to implement certain things. And sometimes it means putting the person on pause. Sometimes it means cutting the person out of your life altogether. And sometimes that is beyond necessary. Like, I have outgrown relationships in my life, and those relationships were not serving me. And I got really clear on the type of relationships that I wanted, because I felt like some of the relationships that I was in were very lopsided. They were very one-sided. They were very like, I was giving, and I wasn't getting the same amount of respect and energy in return. And I don't expect certain things, but if you're giving, and someone's not returning that becomes super lopsided, and resentment starts to come in. And we don't want resentment. Like, resentment is going to kill a relationship. And so if you do feel resentful, you got to be willing to express that, hey, I am resentful. And let me tell you, when you are able to identify that you are resentful, and that you can articulate that in a way that allows you to share that, like, I am resentful of these certain behaviors, these certain comments, these certain things, these certain ways that we are in relationship with, and I want to solve this problem. How do we do that? And that's the thing. Like, If you're used to shoving down, shoving down, shoving down, shoving down your emotions, you're going to get resentful. Also, we'll do the opposite end of the spectrum where you don't shove down your feelings, but you have outbursts of like, this is unjust, this is whatever, and you're screaming, yelling, or reacting in such a posture way, because either we collapse, we go in, or we posture, or we freeze and fawn, meaning like we just don't know how to react and we just freeze. And so whatever you're posturing or collapsing, neither one of them are good. And so we want to find what the balance is, because when you posture, you become wrong. And it doesn't mean that you're not right about the situation, you just didn't handle it properly. And so we want to figure out where's the sweet spot so that you can navigate what you're feeling and then articulate it in a way that it's a win-win for both people, or it's and let me say, sometimes cutting someone else out of your life is a win-win for both people, because they have the opportunity to be with people in the relationships that they're wanting and not have to worry about if they're going to hurt someone's feelings. Because sometimes some people just aren't meant to be in a relationship because they just don't have the same values, the same thought process, the same beliefs, the way that they handle things differently. It's all okay. Like sometimes we're meant to have people in our life for a short period of time, while others we're meant to have them in our life for a really long time, or for just a chapter or two, whatever it is, it's absolutely perfectly okay. So let me read some of these comments. Say family, I had to recognize everyone in my life, past, present, future, play a role in expanding of my soul. No victim mentality. We choose these challenges for expansion. Absolutely. Carol said, I can't do anything. I'm not well and I have to live with my parents. That means they have control over most of my life. I'm sorry. So, when we're in complicated situations, for example, like what Carol just said, like they have control over my life because there's certain amount of dependency on them, right? So the question is just because they're helping you, what feels good to you, and where is the compromise on where you guys can meet in the middle on something. And sometimes it takes taking a step back and looking at it from all perspectives. And that's why I love the record so much, is because sometimes they always offer, not sometimes, they always offer alternative perspectives on any given situation. And so it allows us to see through different lenses. And there are so many different complicated situations out there, and the dynamics and everything that is caused by that. And it's just interesting. It's just very, very interesting. And I'll give you an example of how I find things interesting. The way I grew up in my family is very different than the way my husband grew up. And my mother-in-law lives with us, and the way that she handles medical things and the way that my mom handles medical things are very different than one another. One is not right, one is not wrong, it's just the way that they do things. And so it's a dance of understanding and how to approach the situation based on that person, not based on what you were taught. And that's where autonomy comes in. I think that that's really important. I think that the spiritual law of tolerance, that doesn't mean you tolerate bad behavior. Tolerance means that you have tolerance for the person in the way that they just are who they are. And I think that sometimes this approach to um, people in general, and it doesn't mean they get to walk all over you, it doesn't mean that you tolerate inappropriate behavior, you just give them permission to be who they are with boundaries. And it allows you not to get caught up in an emotional spiral reaction to certain behaviors that you're used to spiraling or are used to reacting. So it doesn't have to be a spiral, but you're used to reacting to them in a certain way. And so when you practice tolerance, it changes your reaction, because everything comes down to how you choose to react to any given situation in your life. So I hope that's helpful. Let me know in the comments, is this helpful? Can you relate? Are you wanting to, and please answer this one. Is there someone in your life that you're questioning your relationship on? And if just type yes or no. Is there someone in your life that you're questioning your relationship on? And that can be complicated, like, so complicated, because there's all sorts of different feelings. It's like going through a breakup, but it's platonic. And you have to go through all the emotions of grief sometimes when it comes to those types of relationships, because your soul, your higher self, your team is trying to get your attention to make it aware that there is an imbalance in relationships, and in that relationship or something else. And I know for me, um, you have to be willing to look at how you're showing up in that relationship, and what you're able to tolerate and what you're not able to tolerate, and what that looks like and what you want it to change to. Because if you can't identify what you want it to change to, you're going to still get the same results. If you know you don't want that person to go, if you know you want that person to go, call it a day. Wipe your hands of it. If you know you want that person to be in your life for a moment, at this particular moment in time, then what do you want to change, and what are you willing to do outside your comfort zone to have that conversation to invite that change in? And sometimes it means you taking action on your end first before having that conversation as well. And it can be really helpful. Got some yeses. Yeah. Someone said my dad's a narcissist. I'm sorry. Like I totally get that. And so when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're dealing with someone that um, is grandiose and doesn't take responsibility for any of their actions. And so what do you got to do to protect yourself? And that's going to be the next question. Okay. With that, I want to channel one more little message from the Guardians before we hop off. Also, just quick announcement: if you are wanting to join us for the Soul Evolution Masterclass Series, it's a free 10-day event. It starts February 17th. It's absolutely free. We're going to do soul lineage healing, ancestral lineage. Like, this is going to be big, especially if you're having relationship or friendships that you're wanting to let go of. We can clear some of those things in the soul lineage and ancestral healings that we're going to do at the 10-day free masterclass. It's called the Soul Evolution Masterclass Series. It's an extravaganza. I'm going to give away prizes, like lots and lots of prizes. And you have a chance to enter to win a Sacred Awakening course, or light language magic, or some meditation bundles. And all you have to do is share with our raffle. So if you're interested, you can go to theamyrobeson.com/masterclass. I'm going to just type that in the chat box really quick. theamyrobeson.com/masterclass. And that's TheamyRobeson.com/masterclass. And someone said, will you be at the Conscious Life Expo? I will be at the Conscious Life Expo. That is happening this weekend. If you are, if you're wanting to come to that, it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got to look at my calendar because I don't know the dates in my brain. It is the 7th, 8th, and 9th. We do have a link here for the expo. Let me grab that really quickly. If you're wanting to join us, come say hi to me. I would love to see you. I'm going to be doing an ancestral Akashic Record workshop. I'm going to be channeling an ancestral healing. We're going to be doing a galactic light language lecture. I'm also on an interdimensional panel as well. And so if you'd love to come see us, we're going to be in the International Ballroom. We'll have Sacred Awakening students there as well that are going to be doing Akashic Record readings. So if you're interested, you can come. It's the amyrobeson.com / Conscious Life Expo, the amyrobeson.com / Conscious Life Expo. I just popped the links in. If you're interested in coming, let us know. If you are, someone said, I'll be there volunteering. Awesome. Stacy, come say hi. Love to meet you guys in person. If you can't come, we're going to be doing the 10-day masterclass series. And so we have people all around the world. And so it's just neat. Like, I love doing the series because every year I learn something new about the records. Not every year, every round I teach it. And I teach the level 1 round twice a year. And so we do this event twice a year, and it's just powerful. So here's what the Guardians are saying as well, that sometimes what has to break will actually mend the heart, meaning sometimes the relationship is broken and you have to address the issues of its brokenness in order to mend it. And mend it means saying goodbye to the relationship or sharing what is wrong and then saying goodbye to the relationship, or sharing what is wrong and giving the person the opportunity, or the organization or the people that you're in relationship with, the opportunity to fix it. And you guys can brainstorm, and the ball's in your court. Once you figure it out, then you put the ball in their court as well. And the other thing they're saying is sometimes sadness in a relationship is the very catalyst of change that is going to assist you in evolving your soul. And so sometimes these relationships come in for you to have the opportunity to stand in your power. And if you choose not to stand in your power, you're going to still get the same thing. It's you that gets to have the choice on how to change it. Nobody else is going to change it for you. Only you can change that particular thing that is not working for you, by using your voice, using your energy, using your momentum, using your creativity to solve the problem in the way that you're being guided to solve it. And so go and solve it, because you deserve it as well. All right, my friend. Someone said, I was brought here today with divine guidance. Absolutely. Awesome, my friends. I am so excited for the Soul Evolution Masterclass Series. I'm so excited for the our next live. We're going to be doing a live next week. I don't think I have it even in my calendar yet. Oh no, it's next week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So join us live next week. We'll send out an email for that. And then I can't wait to share what happens at the expo. I always get some good downloads. So I can't wait to share what that looks like, how that's going to be, and what takeaways I got from it. So I'll see you guys next week, or I'll see you at the expo, or I'll see you online. So have a great day. Take care. Bye, guys.